Hey everybody, it's Chris. It is Tuesday, September 3rd. There are 63 days until the election. 63 days. That's 9 weeks. I mean, here's a fun fact I heard today. The Biden-Trump debate on June 27th is further in the past than election day is in the future. Yes. Okay, so I thought I would talk because I think I've spent a lot of time talking about Kamala Harris lately, and I comb my hair even though there's very little of it there, but it makes me feel better. I spent a lot of time talking about Kamala Harris lately. She's obviously been the story for the last month, and I actually think the fight to define her will be the story of the next 9 weeks. But I want to talk for a second, because while I do talk about Donald Trump a fair amount of the time, I missed a button. I want to talk about why I think Donald Trump is the weakest potential candidate Republicans could nominate. So it is now the day after Labor Day. You look through a few numbers. Let me just go through a few. Joe Biden is still the incumbent president of the United States, and he is still pretty unpopular. Definitely a majority of people disapprove of the job he's doing. Kamala Harris is his vice president and has been for the last 3.5 years. More than 2/3 of the country believe we are off on the wrong track as opposed to headed in the right direction. People believe the two most important issues in this election, the ones that they're going to vote on, are the economy and immigration. On those two issues, they trust Republicans much more than Democrats to handle them effectively. Okay, so if I laid that out to you, if I told you those facts, and you didn't know who the Republican nominee was, and I said to you, who do you think is going to win the election? You would, if you're a thinking person, say, well, the Republican, right? Unpopular Democratic president. The two most important issues of the election are ones that people trust Republicans more than Democrats. The nominee for Democrats is someone directly tied to this unpopular administration. Lots of people think we're off on the wrong track, right? Right. Wrong. And I will tell you why it's not totally wrong, but Republicans should be in a much stronger position today, 9 weeks from this election, than they are. And the reason that they're not is because of Donald Trump. So, a generic Republican, pick your generic Republican, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Mitt Romney wouldn't be the nominee, but Ron DeSantis, people. Ron DeSantis, who was not a great candidate. That's putting it mildly. Ron DeSantis would be ahead in this race right now because the fundamentals of the race that I just outlined should be for Republicans. I think Nikki Haley would be ahead by 5 or 6 points nationally if she was the Republican nominee on Earth 2.0. The problem for Republicans, as it has been for the last 9 years, is Donald Trump. So why isn't Trump ahead? Because, in fact, he is now behind by about 1 to 3 points nationally. I would say the swing states are effectively toss-ups, really. I mean, maybe Harris has a little advantage in Wisconsin. I think Trump has a little advantage in North Carolina. But the rest of them, I think, are basically toss-ups. So why isn't Trump where a generic Republican would be? And the answer is because so many people dislike him. I was looking at an ABC News Ipsos poll over the weekend. It was released on Sunday. Harris's favorable-unfavorable is 46 favorable, 43 unfavorable, which is pretty damn good. Trump is at 33 favorable, 58 unfavorable. People just do not like him, including, I will note, lots of people that want to be for the Republican, that favor Republicans on things like immigration and the economy, that don't like Joe Biden and don't really want any kind of close to continuation of his administration. The problem is they cannot bring themselves to vote for Donald Trump because of who he is personally. They may actually even like his policies, but he cannot stop being himself, right? He goes to these rallies, he puts out things on Truth Social. He is deeply unlikable. That's essentially the problem. He isn't running. He's running below where a generic Republican should run at this point because people simply do not like him. And I really do think that smart Republicans, if they lose this election in November, will look back and say, I cannot believe we did not put things into place most notably impeaching Donald Trump after January 6th and convicting him and banning him from running for office again, which the Senate could have done, we did not put things in place that stopped us from the possibility of Donald Trump winning the nomination again and losing the general election again, because this is a totally winnable race for Republicans. Yes, I know Harris has excited people. Yes, Harris is clearly a better candidate with a better chance of winning than Joe Biden was. But it's still, on the numbers, a very winnable race for Republicans. And right now, at least, they're not winning it. Now, I'm not saying they're losing it, but they're not winning it. And so I just think that Donald Trump, you have to remember, Donald Trump is, in my mind, the worst possible nominee that Republicans could have picked. And if anyone could lose this race in this environment, it's Donald Trump. All right, that's it for today. As always, I ask you to do 4 things. I ask you to subscribe to this channel. That one's easy. Hit the subscribe button. I ask you to like this video. Again, easy. Hit the thumbs up. I ask you to comment on this video for the community and for the algorithm. And I ask you to tell 10 friends all about it. We are in a sprint, people. 63 days. Let's get this done. I'm making videos every one of those. Not everyone, because I'm probably not making videos Saturday and Sunday. Although TBD, maybe I will. But we're in a sprint. I need you. I need your support. We're going to push all the way through the election. Daily videos. Check me out. See you tomorrow.